Here's some fresh perspective for you. Feel free to take notes. This is wisdom from the great beyond. Let's hit it. I'm just here to hold up a mirror. If you don't like what's being reflected back to you, then you do have the power to change it. Or you can ignore my warnings. My heart is no longer tangled in chains. You can't predict my next move. My spirit is my guide. I've got nothing to lose. It's all gains. My spirit no longer becomes engulfed with emotions clouding judgment. I face all my darkness so your words cannot penetrate my chest. My body is no longer trapped in pain. I can breathe easier, lighter, and be still now. Silence is no longer a signal to suit up for war. You can't scare me with death. I've already died 1,000 times, spiritually, of course. I don't care to be liked. It comes with conditions. I won't betray myself any longer to meet those standards. Love it. Just want to say, definitely not scared of death. I've stared it in the face many times. I had guns to my head. I've told the story about where somebody tried to carjack me at 18. Had a gun to my head. I told him he'd have to peel my fat ass out of a car before I would give him my car. I worked too hard for it. I wasn't just going to give it away. Ego and pride can't compete with self-control. How do you get there? Going inside yourself, loving yourself, accepting yourself, listening to your own needs, realizing you can't always get your way, gratitude, addressing issues and emotional wounds, teach yourself how to let go by following your spirit. Time allows for space to grow wounds deep into our subconscious. They will impact emotions and behavior. Some periods of healing will be confusing since you won't always be able to recognize your growth or that you're even growing. It's a natural process when you do the work to rewire or develop impulse control more. We must be aware when we are becoming hostile, angry, or feeling sad and hysterical. Healing can also cause depression while shedding your wounds. It's not necessarily your fault. Don't stop the process. Follow it. Let it unfold. Sometimes we may realize our growth. We may not realize our growth until someone explains it or holds a mirror to our actions. A seed feels pressure before bursting out of its shell before becoming a plant. The feeling at first won't be pleasant, yet later you'll be guided to see. You'll be guided to see it. There will be long periods of waiting and being unsure of where to go next. Those moments are us getting prepared for the next level of life. A new personality is waiting to be revealed. Seriously. Moving on. My kids are hilarious, or just kids in general are hilarious to me. So here's something I wrote today. Kids are hilarious to me. My son is starting to repeat sounds and words For example, when you tell him to stop doing something, he just repeats op a few times as he's still doing it. I tried explaining to him earlier what stop means, and he'd just repeat op, op. He's learning English too, so can't expect him to know what I said today and understand it. Yet in time, 2 months or so of me consistently talking to him about it, he will understand. I just realized in that moment he can learn words. It doesn't mean he will understand what they mean just yet. It became obvious to me. It's so beautiful to me that my awareness is so high, I didn't need a book to give me that information. My critical thinking is expanding. I get the majority of my knowledge from studying everything in life. I get it from observation, careful analysis, collecting data. The most powerful knowledge to gain is from being hyper alert and aware of surroundings. It means you have the ability to have exceptional control and instincts. Facts. Anyway, back to my son. He's a swiper. He will swipe anything from you easily. He can pick pockets without noticing, snatch glasses, or grab your hair very quickly. He's striking like a snake. He laughs while doing it. He must be taught boundaries, so I am. He needs time to allow his retention to develop. Spanking him, hitting him, screaming, etc. isn't productive. My brain is wired for solutions. Does his behaviors make him bad? No. His perspective is he's playing. He's extremely intelligent and busy, needing constant stimulation. I write so fast. He has tons of energy to burn off each day, which is my responsibility to develop his mind and help him burn that steam off. Obviously, he's physically doing these behaviors, yet the comprehension behind the action isn't there yet. Impulse control develops approximately around age 7. He has to develop those parts of his brain that aren't wired into him. Some 3-year-olds can learn what stop means. I have to teach my boy what it means by setting boundaries, cause and effect. When he commits a certain action like running away out of the yard, he has to come inside immediately. And I talk to him like he does understand until he does get it. Hey, you have to stay in the yard. You're not listening. We're going to go inside now. It's time to go inside. And he may fight me. He may this. And I just keep reiterating, hey, it's time to go inside. You're not listening. You didn't stay in the yard. Mommy said stay in the yard. It's safe for you to stay in the yard. I just say things like that over and over and over and over and over. And over again. Am I going to scream and yell? No. He's not going to learn that way. He's going to eventually learn this way. But like I said, you have to understand development to understand this is the way to go. It takes longer, and it takes your patience, love, understanding, and care. And you have to be in tune with yourself in order to provide that. Some 3-year-olds can learn what stop means. I have to teach my boy what it means by setting boundaries, cause and effect. When he commits a certain action like running away out of the yard, he has to come inside immediately. I talk to him like he does understand until he does get it. Consistency is the key. It takes repetition for your brain to develop memory in the thought process. Some children do take longer to develop outside the womb, and do think a lot of that is tied to diet. If you look at everything we are offered, then you'd see it's like pick your poison out here. I do feel like they are playing Russian roulette with our genes, mixed with chemically sprayed food equals wiring malfunctions in the womb. I also realized it's just what can happen when life is growing. We don't get to control anything. I do believe if corporations weren't allowed to add so many chemicals and pesticides in our food, the genetics wouldn't be so screwed up today, and our brains would have better chances at developing correctly from the womb. My point is we must teach depth as many times as it takes to stick. I refuse to give my children a violent mindset, losing their patience with everything. I'll give them ease and grace. Moving on. There was a video I saw today. It was a woman. She was like one of those point of view videos, distracting my husband from the fact that we've bringing home our 9th child. And there's lots of comments saying it's irresponsible and how the children won't get their needs met. They'll feel neglected, etc. And it's obviously all about the parenting skills and the priorities of the parents. Fresh perspective. You're assuming a child's needs need to be met immediately. Teach them wait and patience. Time and place is necessary. Assess the situation. Is it an emergency? You can teach a young child to see I'm busy. It can wait a minute. Dropping everything every time will have them become an anxious, entitled teenager or adult. It's healthier for them to learn delayed gratification and not have every single need met immediately. Process tantrums with them. Stop just doing things to avoid them crying. I tell my daughter, please wait. I will be with you in a moment. You should teach children they can't be the center of attention constantly. It's where entitlement comes from. You can have older kids play with the littles while you do dinner and etc. Teaches them to be a team and how to help each other. Obviously, you don't make them responsible for the care. Just, hey, can I throw you $5 to play with your brother for 15 minutes? That's what I do with mine. Or, hey, can I pay you $10? Can you go run your brother at the park? Burn out some of that steam because I can't run with him. I improvise, adapt, and overcome. Let's see, 1 second. Yeah. And then, moving on. I can't remember everything this video said. It's just specifically what stood out to me was the guy saying that self-control is better than self-esteem and to tell the child no more, which is good. And like I said, what stuck out to me is him saying self-control is better than you giving your child self-esteem. It's all about respect and how to learn, he was talking about children need to respect their parents. It's like, yes, they do, of course, but you also need to teach them that respect. And it's time for fresh perspective. First of all, why can't it be both? You need self-esteem to have intuition. You need intuition for self-control. You need good instincts for any of that. Teaching accountability is loving them. Children will learn to love that for themselves and you for it. Being accountable will show them how it looks to respect yourself. Self-esteem is important, the same as self-control. They are connected to impulse control. Learning accountability will give them boundaries with others, which builds confidence. Degrading words and actions aren't acceptable. You get to set the example of respect. Talk and treat them like someone you love. That's how they learn respect in return. I tell my daughter, hey, don't talk to me that way. I don't treat you this way. If you're having a bad day, we can talk about it. Don't take it out on me. I don't do that to you. I want to speak love into you. Give them a chance to self-correct. Remind them they always have a choice. Life has light and darkness. Teach them how to navigate both, and that bad choices have negative consequences. Teach them doing what's right has blessings. For an example, my daughter wasn't doing so well in school, but she worked really hard, took the initiative and worked really hard to get all of her grades up. She did great. Oh my God, it's a miracle. Well, she really wanted to go somewhere for spring break last year. And, it's expensive to go on vacation. So, all of her friends were going somewhere. And all of a sudden, she calls me from school. And she said, Mom, can I go to Florida with her friend for the week? And I said, well, yeah, of course. Do you need any money, And she didn't need any money. And even though she did get sent with some spending money. And I told her, I said, see what happens? I said, you worked really hard to keep your grades up. I said, you did really well. I just pointed out all the good choices she made. And I said, look, your prayers got answered. You really wanted to go somewhere for spring break, and now you're going somewhere for spring break, and you're going to have the time of your life. Like I said, I just pointed that out to her. Teach them doing what's right has blessings. Example, when my daughter got to go to Florida, and I pointed out how hard she worked at school, and she got rewarded for her hard work. These are just some things I do and say to my kids to teach them respect, because it's all about love and respect. I set a bedtime. Then I say, I want you to have enough sleep for tomorrow. You know how you feel when you stay up too late, right? You deserve your rest. We pick up our own things. We all chip in as a team. Clean up after yourself. Do your dishes. And my daughter does her own laundry. She will ask for help, like if she's like, Mom, I want to go to bed and my laundry's not done. Can you stay up and do it? Of course. No problem. And I don't throw a fit. I don't be like, well, you should have done this sooner. I just did it. And now, guess what? All of a sudden, a week later, she's doing it sooner. She self-corrected. She will ask for help, and I do. She helps me too when I set the example. I keep track of my stuff and I'm here to assist. You need to try first. You can do it. I love you. That's why I want to feed you food that's good for your brain, makes you stronger, and helps you develop. You deserve all your vitamins and minerals. Always suggest water over anything else. Advise to limit sweets. Explain what lots of sugar without water does to your body. I want you healthy. Explain the immune system, gut health, etc. Explain to them what their body is and does. You have to know it first. I had to learn it too. I still don't know everything. This is the kind of stuff I really feel like we should be learning about ourselves in school instead of having to go to college. Like, I realize you go to school for 13 years, and in 13 years they teach you a lot of senseless knowledge. So you're like 18 and clueless. No. She has chores, and she takes the initiative to clean her room, get herself up, and more. She's self-sufficient. We don't leave the drive, like a little safety rule. We don't leave the driveway unless everyone's buckled. Teaching, it's okay to be upset or angry. It's not okay to be mean to yourself or others. Let's talk about those feelings. Let's address the real issue, what the real issue is, so emotions won't affect your whole day. If others aren't being respectful, teach them others are out there that do have boundaries too. They'll have you as showing the example of what respect is. So they'll figure that out for themselves. Teach them to walk away from disrespect. Have those boundaries. Hey, I'm not going to accept this. I don't treat you and talk to you that way. Tell them to say stuff like that to their friends. That's what I said. I teach mine around me. You can teach them to be patient when you're busy on the phone. Is respect. I will respect you too. I will listen when you speak. Screen time is limited, and we have family time daily. Now, my daughter will naturally hang out more. She's really starting to I love it. She doesn't have to eat. I just teach her how to make her own meals. I won't argue with her. I won't raise my voice, etc. We will speak in a healthy way. And I've said, I have raised my voice before. I have done certain things that I said I learned by error. I set the rules. I can't force her to follow them. I will enforce them, and it's her choice if she wants the consequences for a moment or all day. Ask them if they want rewards from making good choices. Extra screen time. Money for shopping. I'll give her $20 here and there every once in a while. Like I said, I praise her all the time. Like, hey, thank you. Just like my son. When he listens to me, I'll say, thank you for listening. Thank you for getting on the couch so I can change you. Thank you for your time. I just do. Why not? Makes them feel good. Feel loved. Appreciated. And just tell them, I want the rewards for you so we can have a great day. We cannot control the world around them. Prepare them to be strong with boundaries so they won't get sucked into the darkest parts of the world. I did. I got sucked in to the pits of hell. My kids deserve safety and respect too. I must have self-control first. I had to evaluate my own parenting from error. Want to share, come across this video about fast food, basically, and the two places he was talking about in this video was Popeyes and Chick-fil-A. And he found that there's at least 32 food chemicals in Popeye's food, especially the chicken. And there's at least 40 chemicals in the Chick-fil-A sandwich. And he said these chemicals are immune disruptors, brain They affect your brain and block your arteries. He was basically saying our body is fighting unnecessary battles, so when the real battles show up, our system is too tired. And it makes sense because it's our immune system. Our immune system, your body's not supposed to digest that bullshit. And he is right. Our body is fighting unnecessary battles, so when the real battles show up, our system is too tired. And the United States allows thousands of food chemicals in their products. Technically, no food is safe for consumption, since corporations have adopted synthetic BS. Yes, even store-bought food. Our options are awful out here. Say goodbye to flavoring. Some seasonings, condiments, and sauce will kill your natural gut health too. Excuse me. Cancel restaurant food because it's not really food. It's slowly killing us off. We gotta hold corporations accountable and stop worrying about irrelevant things when we all have a common enemy. Honestly, farmers are the most important people out here. So we need to grow our farming nation and become more independent as a nation. There's another video I saw. Here's another video I talk about. It was a guy saying he was fighting with his girlfriend and they didn't speak for a whole week. And I'm going to summarize what he said. And he's basically saying he went on tour and his girlfriend she had the kids and he came home Sunday. And then when he came home Sunday, he took the kids from her and said, this is her break. Well, then Monday comes around and he said, I still have the kids. He's like, I played with the kids. I'm such a good dad. I played with the kids all damn day. It's just the way he said it. It was like I just was laughing because, first of all, he said by Tuesday he lost his mind. He was exhausted. And I was laughing because I'm dang, that's all it took for you to snap on your girlfriend? I'm glad he was aware of it and that it was wrong and stuff like that. I'm not trying to, but it's just wild to me how people look at kids. Fresh perspective. Like I said, where he said, play with the kids all damn day. LOL. What do y'all think will happen when you have a child, though? Of course they are needy, whiny. They are clueless about life. We must guide them. Of course they need constant stimulation. Do you think they're supposed to disappear when you're over it? No. Why have a child and act like they are a burden to raise? Humans are weird. Who made the conscious decision to bring them here? You did. So you don't get cool points for doing what you chose to do when having children. People make me so sleepy. This is vibrating low to me. I can't handle people like this. I'll fall asleep on you for lack of awareness. He was exhausted after not even 2 whole days and felt like a slave. That's what he said. He felt like a slave with his own children. Bro, you're in it for years. What do you mean? I can't believe I said bro. You did it. Own that. Buck up. It's a sign he needs to grow his mental and his patience. Yes, it's rough, yet you must push through. We are here to ensure their future. Being a parent isn't a job. It's an honor and our responsibility. I had to grow my mental too. We always have a choice. My kids teach me grace, understanding, and patience. We are stronger than overstimulation, exhaustion, anger, etc. The mind is what limits you. We truly don't have limits. You can train your mind to work for you. It takes time and devotion to self-analysis. Giving into our emotions means we have a weak nervous system. Grow your internal dialogue. Practice your pauses. It can be done. I'm so serious. These are things I had to come to terms with within myself. And again, create those solutions. Serious, speaking facts. And lastly, but not least, I'm on fire today. Listen. When I call out others, I call myself out too. There isn't two sets of rules to follow for me. There's one, guided by the higher power. It's how I offer fresh perspective from within. I find what the mind can trick us into believing is hilarious. So yes, I truly laugh or joke about everything, even my own ridiculous thoughts. Spirit teaches us we are stronger than overstimulation too, meaning observe it. I feel we all need to chill out and reevaluate why we are here and what we are actually here to accomplish. Spark your mind. No, it's not just to find love, provide financially, and have children. We are not supposed to be self-serving. It's much bigger than that for real. The economy is fake and completely made up. They can control it since they created it. And money. Think about it. No one is above the government in any country. Who are the ones who created the economy and the false sense of reality? It's a legal Ponzi scheme. Money truly doesn't have to exist. The economy will crash, and I'm here patiently waiting for the downfall of it. That's all I've got for tonight. Until next time.